The shocking truth behind the war in heaven. What the Bible reveals will leave you breathless. Few knew what truly happened that night. The air crackled with tension, a palpable energy echoing through the vastness of the heavenly realm. Archangels stood watch, their wings shimmering like stars in the dark canvas of the sky. But it was not peace that hung in the air. It was a storm, a battle brewing, a conflict that would shake the very foundation of creation. In that moment, Lucifer, the radiant one, was filled with a twisted ambition. He cast his eyes toward the throne, shimmering with divine light, where the Almighty reigned supreme. His heart raced with insatiable hunger for power. Why should he alone be worshipped? He mused, his thoughts spiraling into darkness. The other angels whispered, voices trembling with uncertainty. Is it worth the cost? They wondered, gazing at their once-beloved leader, now a beacon of defiance. This was no ordinary time. Heaven itself was caught in a celestial upheaval, a divine rebellion marking the end of an era. The golden walls of paradise stood tall, yet cracks began to form, echoing the uncertainty in the hearts of its inhabitants. This was a war that would ripple through eternity, a fight between light and darkness, loyalty and betrayal. The stakes were high, and the choice was clear. As Lucifer rallied his followers, the internal conflict became evident. Their faces reflected confusion, temptation battling against loyalty. What if he is right? One angel dared to ask, a flicker of doubt in their eyes. What if we are being controlled? Rumors of discontent wafted through the corridors, like a dark fog enveloping the heavenly realm. Tension soared. Would they stand with the light, or succumb to the seductive call of the dark? A sudden silence fell. In that brief moment, heaven held its breath. Then, a voice rang out, clear, powerful, and unyielding. Who will stand with me? The gathering shockwaves rippled, freezing time. Gabriel, loyal and steadfast, stepped forward, defiance burning in his eyes. We will protect the throne, he declared. Gasps echoed as many stepped alongside him, emboldened by his conviction. But others hesitated, hearts gripped by fear of the unknown. The realization struck deep. This was not mere disagreement. This was war. The unthinkable was on the horizon, threatening to shatter the beautiful tapestry of creation woven by the Creator's hand. Would they choose comfort over truth? Would they cling to the familiarity of the light, or would they be seduced by Lucifer's enticing dream of freedom? As the energies in the celestial realm fluctuated, whispers of ancient prophecies began to surface. Words spoken long ago hinted at this very moment a struggle that would change the course of existence. The joy of creation now mingled with dread, as specters of loyalty and treachery danced together in a fraught embrace. Would the angels hold fast to faith, or would they plunge into the abyss of rebellion? The answer flickered like the stars above, shimmering with uncertainty and dark possibilities. And as the tension thickened further, one question loomed: who would pay the ultimate price in this battle of wills? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As the gathered hosts felt the tremors of conflict within the heavenly expanse, the very fabric of existence seemed to shudder. In the midst of the divine uproar, shadows whispered ancient secrets, igniting curiosity and a deep-seated yearning for truth. The eyes of every angel turned, locked in the uncertainty of their fate. In this moment, as Gabriel stood resolute, a memory flickered in the minds of the angels, echoes of the Creator's voice, weaving through the ages, crafting promises of unity and light. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Those words, rich in love, had once sown the seeds of purpose and harmony among them. Now they seemed to mock the very notion of division that had arisen in the hearts of those who had once adored their creator Lucifer. sensing the tide of dissent among his followers, cast a glance toward Gabriel, a battle-tested warrior who radiated loyalty. The rebellious archangel's heart surged with the sweet nectar of charisma and cunning. "Do you not see, my brethren?" he cried, his voice smooth as satin yet sharp as a dagger. "We were created with the freedom to choose. Why should we not elevate ourselves beyond servitude? Are we not worthy of love equal to that shown to mankind?" The murmurs intensified, swirling like a parade of dreams and doubts among the celestial beings. Some found strength in Lucifer's words, while others clung to the unwavering light of Gabriel's resolve. The celestial war hinged on an elusive balance, as compelling as a flickering candle against a tempest. Between the fervor of conflicting visions, a quiet angel stood apart from the crowd, her name whispered only in hush. Alicia, known for her wisdom, felt a heaviness in her heart as she gazed into the distance, where the edge of forever blurred into a shimmering abyss. Deep within her, questions churned like waves crashing against a rocky shore. Is there truly righteousness in rebellion? She pondered, the vibrations of chaos resonating in her soul. What if our freedom leads to destruction, rather than liberation? As the storm drew nearer, Alicia's spirit yearned to seek answers. She remembered the stories of the ancients' tales of the seraphim and their guiding light. There were sacred texts that spoke of a divine assembly, where hidden truths could be revealed. Perhaps there lay wisdom that transcended the conflict before her eyes. With renewed determination, she glanced at her fellow angels, searching for a flicker of hope. "Together we can seek clarity," she spoke softly yet firmly. "Let us turn to the source of our creation, the one who knows all things. Only through him can we discover the path that leads us away from this impending darkness." But the tide of emotions surged, as loyalty and betrayal collided. One angel voiced, "What if our trust in the Almighty is misplaced? Have we become mere puppets?" The air grew thick with uncertainty, and Alicia shivered in response, feeling the weight of despair mingling with hope. The forces were now fully engaged in a celestial standoff. Gabriel's presence radiated strength, while Lucifer's charisma pulsed with an allure that tugged at the minds of the wavering. Unbeknownst to the angels, the clocks of creation ticked ever forward. At the fringes of fate, darkness and light prepared to clash. Yet Alicia felt the truth hunger inside her. A whisper of something greater hung overhead, pulling gently like a thread to be followed, leading her deeper into the mysteries woven into the very fabric of creation. "What do we truly know of the love that birthed us?" she thought in silent urgency. Perhaps the ultimate conflict was not merely the war in heaven, but the war within each angel's heart. She contemplated her next steps. One question lingered, unanswered, and tremulous in the fragile air. What is the price of true freedom, and is it worth the battle that lies ahead? In the shadow of a cosmic storm, suspended in a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, Alicia felt the pulse of creation thrum beneath her wings. The air sparkled with the energy of their collective yearning, a dynamic tension ricocheting between the two factions. As chaos loomed, each angel was forced to confront not only the gathering storm but the very nature of their existence. Beneath the fervent rhetoric of Lucifer and the stalwart resolve of Gabriel, whispers of doubt fluttered in the hearts of many. Alicia moved with caution, watching as some angels drifted toward the seduction of liberation promised by Lucifer, while others clutched their loyalty to the eternal light exemplified by Gabriel. She wondered, could it be that the truth lay not in one side or the other, but somewhere in the delicate balance between rebellion and submission? With her heart full of questions, Alicia took a step forward, drawn by a deep inner compulsion. In that instant, she felt a sudden stillness envelop her. The chaotic clamor receded, and the vibrant hues of conflict dulled into a whispering silence. It was as if the heavens themselves paused to listen as she said, "Is it not written that the Creator's love knows no boundaries? That our purpose is tied to one another, as stars are to the night sky?" Her words resonated, briefly stopping the division in its tracks. A few angels turned, intrigue sparking in their eyes as they considered a truth buried beneath layers of pride and ambition. Yet just as quickly as hope flared, Lucifer's voice returned like a tempest. What binds us is our servitude, and what we seek is freedom. We should aspire to rise above our lowly state to transcend the realm of mortals. Alicia felt something shift within her at this challenge. The notion of transcending servitude was seductive, yet at what cost? In that moment, she recalled the ancient stories of creation, where the harmonious symphony of life emerged from the unity of all beings under divine guidance. She longed to illuminate that perspective amidst the growing rift. "Consider this, my brethren," she implored, her voice trembling yet resolute. "Freedom without love becomes chaos. Are we not great because we reflect the divine? What if the very essence of our existence is to share that love, to elevate and not to destroy?" The words were threads woven from the fabric of her soul, illuminating the path she believed might exist between the two extremes. Yet doubt filled the hearts of many. "But what of the injustices we suffer in this position of servitude?" cried a radiant voice from among the gathered. "Have we not been forgotten in our obedience? Is our loyalty rewarded?" Alicia felt the weight of their grievances and understood that every truth comes with duality. A soft sigh escaped her lips as she acknowledged the confusion swirling like storm clouds within the hearts of the angels. "I do not claim to know the answers to the depth of your pain," she replied gently. "But I believe our strength lies in unity, in the courage to seek understanding in the shadow of our fears." In that moment, the cosmic tension swelled again, as angels looked to one another, caught in a web of solidarity and doubt, both longing for truth yet wary of their past. Could they indeed turn the tide of rebellion into something constructive? Or would the battle of wills usher in an era of darkness? As the celestial storm brewed ever closer, pulsing with the weight of unresolved emotions and choices not yet made, Alicia felt a deeper call. It echoed through her very being, a desire to know the heart of their creation and the depths of the love that birthed such complexities. If knowledge is our true inheritance, she mused internally, what will we discover if we dare to navigate the chasm of our fears together? Might we find that the Creator's love is the solution to our turmoil, rather than the source of our conflict? Thus, beneath the trembling expanse of their heavenly domain, a question loomed still unanswered. If unity binds us to our purpose, can we surrender our fears and chase understanding without losing our individuality? The vibrancy of the celestial storm intensified as Alicia's voice lingered in the air, reverberating through the hearts of her fellow angels amidst growing tensions. Shimmering light fused with deepening shadows, and the vivid spectrum of emotions morphed into a kaleidoscope of choices. She felt the weight of each gaze upon her, burdened yet hopeful, filled with uncertainty yet burning with the desire for clarity. It was then that Gabriel, with his wings unfolding like an ethereal cloak, stepped forward, illuminating all with his brilliant aura. Alicia speaks of unity, and while her heart resonates with wisdom, the reality we face is stark. There exists a rift, an abyss opened by rebellion, but we must not just seek understanding. We must restore our place in the celestial tapestry. The resolve in Gabriel's voice was like the steady rhythm of a heartbeat, grounding the shifting emotions of the onlookers. Alicia sensed that his position raised the stakes further, that the dilemma was no mere philosophical debate. "We are not only beings of light but guardians of a divine order," he continued, the fervor in him igniting the spirits around. "If we abandon our allegiance, what becomes of the harmony created by our Creator?" Lucifer, undeterred, countered with fierce conviction, "What if the order we cling to has enslaved us for eons? Is the light truly benevolent if it binds us? Freedom creates possibility. Why must we settle for an existence defined by servitude?" His words hung heavy in the air, pulsating with temptation and shadow. But something stirred within Alicia with renewed urgency. Though she felt the allure of independence, the vivid tales of old danced in her memory how the universe found balance in the interplay of light and dark, embracing both the chaos of creation and the calm of existence. Was not the act of creation itself rooted in cooperation, in the divine dance of various forms coming together as one? "Lucifer," Alicia addressed him gently, feeling the weight of her heart's longing. "Freedom untempered by love risks the birth of despair. But if we could approach change with wisdom, compassionate rebellion, if you will, might we not uncover a path toward both growth and unity? The silence that followed thickened with anticipation, an electric charge spurring angels into contemplation. Alicia observed their faces, a tapestry of confusion interlaced with hope, the spark of undying light flickering at the edge of despair. Then a voice from the shadows emerged, trembling but determined. If we are to act together, we must also understand the depth of our feelings for one another. What if the pain we experience are perceived injustices, are opportunities? Perhaps they are invitations for deeper love and greater connection, offered to us by our Creator through the crucible of experience. Alicia nodded, her heart swelling with gratitude for this perspective that dared to bridge the divide. This pain we feel might indeed reflect the very love that binds us, she added. Even amidst turbulence, we can choose to learn to grow together. In our suffering, could we not also find communion, and when united, become a reflection of the Creator's love? The murmurs among the gathered angels shifted again, questions and doubts swirling as they exchanged meaningful glances. Some still clung to the belief that rebellion could free them from oppression, while others began to tilt toward Alicia's vision, a vision steeped in love and understanding. As the gnawing storm rumbled closer, a palpable sense of urgency filled the air, like a melodious chord hanging suspended before a grand crescendo. Alicia sensed that reconcilement hinged on a single moment, the delicate balance now poised on a knife's edge. Would they emerge not as adversaries but as partners in the quest for wholeness, or would they spiral further into division? In her heart, she pondered the ultimate question. We speak of love, struggle, and freedom, but in the complexity of our choices, what truths about ourselves remain buried, waiting to be unearthed amidst the tempest of change? As the great storm cascaded around them, cascading lights and shadows danced in furious competition, illuminating the thrumming atmosphere where angels stood at the precipice of decision. The electrifying energy of unresolved feelings weighed heavily upon them, as if the very fabric of their existence was woven into the threads of this moment. Gabriel, emboldened by the stirring words of Alicia, looked down the heavenly hall filled with the radiant yet troubled faces of his kin. Together, we must search the depths of our existence, he proclaimed, his voice harmonizing with the ethereal tones of light. For every conflict carries the potential for transformation. The Creator imbued us with understanding, offering us the gifts of discernment and empathy. To shy away from this divine heritage is to diminish our purpose. Lucifer, sensing the tide shift ever so slightly, stepped forth yet again. His voice echoed with a charming resonance that drew many closer. But tell me, dear brethren, can we truly accept the pain of our collective existence without questioning its source? What if the love Alicia speaks of is cloaked in the chains of an outdated order that fails to resonate with the truth of who we are? The glimmer of doubt shined in his eyes as he presented the weight of rebellion as a spark for liberation. A ripple of unease thrummed through the crowd, sending waves of concern intermingling with curiosity. It became clear the heart of the matter lay not only in contrasting ideals but also within the very essence of who they believed they were. The bonds of their celestial community felt both strong and fragile, like gossamer threads repeatedly woven and unraveled throughout eternity. Alicia felt a wellspring of urgency surging within her as thoughts of her fellow angels, each an intricate part of the divine tapestry, flowed through her mind. If we delve into our pain, might we not uncover the longing that lies behind it? She asked softly, her gaze sweeping across their uncertain faces. Fear can mirror love when viewed from the right lens. Within our disagreements lies an opportunity, an invitation to uncover hidden truths that may set us closer to understanding. What if we embraced our imperfections as starting points rather than endpoints? Among them stood Seraphiel, one of the youngest yet fiercely devoted angels, who had remained quiet until now. His voice, though soft, pierced through the tumult of uncertainty. To understand ourselves, we must be vulnerable to each other. It is in sharing our struggles and joys that we seem human, even if we are celestial. Might it be that our experiences, including our suffering, were intended to bind us in ways we have yet to fully comprehend? His words settled onto their hearts, coaxing forth the hidden questions that had long lingered in shadows. The angels began to share stories, some of joy, others of heartache, dreams untold, and fears that gnawed at the soles of their wings. Each revelation brought warmth, illuminating the truths buried beneath their previous discourse. Yet the storm continued to whirl outside, the winds swirling in a furious dance, a reminder that the essence of choice lingered. They stood both within the tempest and amongst each other, surrounded by a profound dichotomy of love and fear. Alicia glanced at Lucifer, feeling the tension between them. What if, in facing our struggles together, we manifest a deeper aspect of ourselves, a beautifully flawed existence capable of bringing forth showers of peace in chaotic times? Her voice weaved a thread of hope through the hearts of all present. But before anyone could respond, a sudden flash of brilliant light interrupted their gathering, illuminating the darkened corners of their celestial space. A figure, cloaked in brilliance, appeared above them. The presence exuded an air of authority so profound that even the winds of rebellion stilled. Angels of the light, resonated a voice filled with warmth. Your voices reach the farthest corners of the universe. But beware, for the choices you make now will echo through eternity. As you seek to understand your existence and relationship with love, remember the truest way to find the Creator is through the revelations laid bare in your hearts. With those final words, the figure melted back into the storm, leaving in its wake a deeper sense of contemplation. Faced with this divine interruption, the angels stood alone again, each in reverent silence contemplating their next steps. Alicia felt the pulse of a new question pervading the air, one that hung tantalizingly at the edge of comprehension. In our quest for deepening connection through love and vulnerability, can we truly distance ourselves from the shadows of rebellion, or are we forever bound to grapple with the complexities of our essence? As the radiant glow of the figure faded, the silence among the angels transformed into a stillness dense with reflection. Each one was left alone with their thoughts, caught in the tendrils of the cosmic winds that clung to their spirits, anticipating the next beat of the unfolding drama. Alicia stood firm, her wings slightly outstretched as if to shield herself from the weight of the moment. The words of the divine messenger lingered in the air, intertwining with the unvoiced questions that suffused their hearts. She felt the energy shift as Gabriel stepped closer, his brow knitted in thought. Perhaps, Gabriel spoke softly, the storm outside reflects the turmoil within us. It is not simply a force acting upon us but a manifestation of the very discord we hold. Meaningful exchanges took form in the flutter of his wings as powerful emotions rose to the surface. To embrace the storm is to recognize that our desires for unity and understanding must coexist alongside our conflicts and doubts. Can we not find divinity even within our struggles? What if the storm is a response to our inaction? Seraphiel interjected, his voice steady yet filled with youthful uncertainty. Each bolt of lightning might symbolize the painful truths we've yet to reveal. Perhaps if we continue to hide behind facade and indifference, the tempest will only grow stronger, threatening all we hold dear. Lucifer, his eyes glimmering with a mixture of skepticism and wonder, considered how the storm echoed the raw potential of transformation of chaos, giving birth to creation. Is it not in the nature of love to provoke? To challenge us to confront our deepest fears? Maybe we must act, not in search of commandment but in search of our truth. Could rebellion be, in itself, an expression of love, a rebellion against a love that has bound us too tightly? A ripple passed through the assembly. Alicia sensed the flicker of a burgeoning bravery among the angels, as they ventured into the deeper questions that loomed before them. If rebellion is a testament to our yearning for authenticity, might it simultaneously lead us down a precarious path? She mused. What if in rejecting one form of control we bind ourselves to another? The gathering began to morph into a tapestry of voices, each revelation woven into the larger narrative of their existence. Some angels recounted episodes of feeling trapped beneath expectations, while others shared their epiphanies amidst despair. Each experience deepened the understanding of their interconnectedness, a flickering hope, a burgeoning testament to love that would soon fight against the void. Yet the storm outside grew fervent, winds becoming a howling chorus as if echoing the yearning of the hearts within. The elements outside demanded their attention, mirroring the tempest within. They knew that a decision was upon them. Tentatively, they moved towards a collective future shaped by both conflict and communion. As Alicia looked around, she noticed fear stealing upon the faces of her kin. Let us hold dear the truth that love and rebellion are not opposites but expressions of our divine complexity, she urged. What if our engagement with one another's struggles creates the spark needed for harmonizing our dissonance? We can rise together. In that moment, Alicia felt an undeniable urge to bring forth clarity, to guide the assembly through the storm they faced both within and without. Yet doubts began to cloud her resolve. Could love really conquer the shadows lurking in their hearts? Would unity be attainable through shared struggle, or would it deepen existing divides? As the swirling winds persisted, their cries merging with ancient echoes of unity and division, one thought remained as stirring as ever in the ambience. In revealing our struggles, do we risk losing our connection to one another, or might we find ourselves woven together, stronger and more vibrant than before? Amidst the roaring winds and the gathering unease, the assembly of angels found themselves swaying between introspection and the urgent need for action. Alicia's heart raced as thoughts and feelings clashed like the lightning illuminating the storm-tossed skies above. In the eye of this celestial tempest, a revelation began to stir, one that seemed to pierce through the chaos with a whisper of truth. Listen, Alicia urged, her voice rising above the tumult. This moment we share, this tumult of emotions, is a reflection of the greater divine narrative. Our struggles mirror the purpose we hold in creation. Are we not intertwined with the very essence of the cosmos, a dance of light and shadow? As if heeding her call, a renewed fervor swept through the assembly. The angels shared glances filled with a flickering understanding as they collectively stood at the precipice of an awakening. Seraphiel stepped forward, his youthful spirit alight with conviction. If it is our purpose to embody love, then must we not bravely face our fears? Each discord and division we sense must point us toward a deeper truth that eclipses our individual burdens. Gabriel, his wings unfurling like sails catching the winds of this newfound drive, added, "We must journey through the dissonance. What if our very fallibility is not a flaw but a sacred opportunity, a way to connect more deeply with our Creator and with one another? We embrace the storm as much as we honor the calm that follows." Lucifer, who had found himself pondering the duality of existence, allowed his contemplation to take flight. Perhaps therein lies the essence of our existence. The struggle is not an enemy, but a catalyst for growth. To rebel, to challenge even with uncertainty might unravel the chains that bind us to a singular narrative. In accepting this, could we not rise to reshape our destinies, not just tolerate them? This revelation resonated deeply within the hearts of the assembly, and for a moment, the fear that had gripped them began to loosen its hold. Alicia, sensing the transformative energy swirling among them, proposed, "Let us create space for the truths we fear to voice. In sharing our deepest conflicts, in conveying our most cherished dreams, we weave ourselves closer together. We might yet uncover the sacred designs within our strife." The winds outside screamed with intensity, a stark contrast to the burgeoning tranquility that was slowly taking root within the assembly. Each angel, in that moment of bravery, began to open up. Stories surged forth, for the first time unguarded tales of doubt, of longing for purpose, of the struggle to understand the divine will and their place in it. Such revelations wove a tapestry of shared experience, binding them together in ways they had yet to realize. Yet, even as the dialogue flourished, a lingering uncertainty weighed heavily upon Alicia's heart. What if our newfound courage leads us to revelations we are unprepared to face? Are we willing to acknowledge the truth of our existence, even if it leads us to the brink of upheaval? She gazed around at her kin, searching their faces for answers as the storm raged on outside. A sense of urgency filled the atmosphere. The question hung suspended between them, a delicate balance of possibility and fear. What did it mean to seek the truth together? Could they embrace the clash of ideas and emotions without losing sight of their bond? And wouldn't such a choice require a steadfast commitment to remain united amid life's tempests? Under the watchful eye of the storm, the assembly remained poised at a crossroads. Would they open themselves to the unknown, acknowledging that sometimes the most profound truths are cloaked in discomfort? Or would they retreat into the safety of silence, allowing fear to shackle their revelations and ultimately dull the light of divine connection? As their voices began to intertwine in a symphony of raw honesty, the winds outside seemed to shift. They whipped against the celestial edifice, echoing the internal tumult of the assembly. Each revelation was a ripple in the fabric of their existence, a potential path to understanding that lay ahead. Yet, with these unguarded exchanges, Alicia sensed the gravity of their situation deepening. Brothers and sisters, Alicia spoke slowly, her tone rich with earnestness. As we peel back our layers, let us remain mindful of the essence of unity. What might the consequences be if we dare to explore the full depth of our truths? Shall we dive into this collective vulnerability, knowing that in the heart of discord lies the pulse of divine love? Lucifer, who had remained reflective through their brave confessions, let out a breath laden with trepidation. So we stand at the edge, seeking the horizon while wrapped in uncertainty. If our liberation means tasting the bitter fruit of conflict, is it worth the price we may have to pay? Does divine order not speak of harmony? What if our pursuit of truth drives us into adversarial territories? Is it rebellion that we seek, or is it alignment? His words struck a chord, resonating within the assembly and provoking an unexpected silence. The other angels exchanged glances, the storm outside suddenly feeling less distant as thunder rolled through the sky in ominous agreement. Seraphiel took a breath and broke the silence. In acknowledging discomfort, do we not also give voice to the whispers of the Creator? Are we not called to shed the restraints of our constructs and respond to the deep pulse of truth vibrating through the universe? Gabriel's wings vibrated with a sudden intensity, perhaps spurred by the mounting tension. But how do we preserve our essence as we seek this truth? There is a sacred energy in our bond. If we fracture into our own self-centered narratives, do we risk fracturing the very realm we strive to uplift? We must trust that being vulnerable doesn't mean losing ourselves in the chaos. It means grounding our existence in authenticity. As they gathered their thoughts like fragments of light, each angel reflected on their past, the choices that had led them here, and the shadows cast over their moments of joy and purpose. What if this unfolding truth turned out to be the catalyst that could alter the very fabric of their relationships and their divine mission? Was it possible that the war in heaven, the cause of their anxieties and fears, lay not in a struggle against one another but almost to challenge the very nature of their existence? Alicia, emboldened by their discourse, began to weave a metaphorical thread. What if our journey is akin to forging a sword through the fire? We must endure the heat to emerge more refined, sharper in understanding, and glowing with the light of truth. And yet, such forging often demands sacrifice. Is this sacrifice our unwillingness to shy away from our genuine selves? With each reflection, the storm grew louder, as if echoing the turmoil within. Would they choose to dive deeper into this storm, risking all they knew for the promise of enlightenment, or would they retreat into complacency, allowing their fears to extinguish the flames of revelation? The assembly, united yet divided by uncertainty, faced an impending decision. Each angel held within them the echoes of their fears and hopes as the winds outside howled a reminder of the chaos in the world beyond. Was the truth they sought an essential light illuminating their path? Or was it the harbinger of the discord they so desperately wished to avoid? Would they still find their way home if they dared to follow the light into the dark heart of uncertainty? As the tempest outside raged and the winds howled like anguished souls, the assembly remained ensconced in their sacred space, enveloped in a mix of fear and anticipation. Alicia felt the weight of their collective struggle pressing upon her heart, each pulse echoing the need for resolution. But understanding loomed like a distant star, obscured by clouds of doubt. Lucifer, emboldened by the growing energy in the room, stepped forward, his voice cutting through the tumult. Hear me. Perhaps we stand not only on the precipice of revelation but at the crossroads of a profound destiny. If we believe that true unity can emerge from the flames of conflict, then we must unearth our fears. What if the very discord we dread serves a higher purpose, an invitation to transcend our limitations? Gabriel raised his eyes to the gathering storm, feeling the electricity coursing through the air. But fate comes with a burden. Are we prepared to bear this responsibility? What if by unveiling our truths, we awaken forces that cannot be contained? Could our strength in honesty create rifts so deep that they fracture our divine purpose? Is it our duty to confront these ruptures? Seraphiel challenged them, his gaze steady. What if it is through these very rifts that new light can enter? We, as celestial beings, need to embrace our fractures to foster compassion within the universe. Acknowledging our shadows doesn't diminish our essence. It only enhances the brilliance of our lights. What if this act of vulnerability paves the way for deeper love? The pendulum of their discourse swung from fear to hope, but a silence then settled around them, neither inviting nor excluding. In that stillness, the wind's wailing seemed to morph, now sounding less like a cry of despair and more like the very breath of creation. A reminder that turmoil births life as it forces growth. Alicia felt the energy pool within her, and as if affirming an unspoken agreement, she lifted her hands toward the ceiling of their divine space, her voice rising like a song through the storm. What if we summon the courage to embark on this adventure not just as a gathering of celestial minds but as a family bound by a tapestry of experiences? Could our honest revelations transform the discord into a symphony of voices harmonizing in truth? In that moment, a sense of unity began to unfold, yet uncertainty loomed ominously overhead. Amidst the brewing storm, shadows flared across the chamber, and with each flicker, an array of memories danced before them, joys intertwined with bitterness, victories accompanied by losses, lessons steeped in sacrifice. Each memory held a truth, begging to be seen and embraced. Lucifer's brow furrowed as he pondered the ramifications of their declarations. In acknowledging our truths, are we not risking the order that holds our very essence together? The Creator has fashioned this arrangement. By unraveling it, do we run the risk of tearing the cosmos asunder? Or perhaps, Seraphiel interjected, this order is not designed to be static but dynamic, allowing growth through authentic connection. If we confront these fears, we might unleash the true power of our existence. Yet what if we are destined to pay a steep toll for this transformation? As if summoned by their words, a flicker of divine light appeared in the chamber, reflecting the tension boiling among them. The atmosphere trembled with potential, filled with the anguish of the storm and the promise of new beginnings. Would they venture forward into the chaos that lay beyond their comfort, exposing the hidden fears that threatened to uproot their existence? With shared uncertainty, the assembly looked upon one another, each heart beating in sync with the question hovering like a specter in the air. What if the journey towards truth could also become a weapon of creation, or an irreversible act of destruction? Would the courage to seek their essence lead them toward enlightenment or into the abyss? In their search for clarity, would they find grace or chaos? As the swirling tempest outside reached a crescendo, the angels found themselves entwined in the depths of profound contemplation. The storm, a furious symphony of light and shadow, mirrored the turmoil within each heart, amplifying their unspoken fears yet sparking a flicker of hope. Alicia, feeling the weight of their collective uncertainty, stepped forward with renewed determination. Her gaze sweeping across their faces, each one a reflection of divine beauty and vulnerability. In this moment of reckoning, she began, her voice steady yet resonant. We stand at the precipice of our transformation. The dualities we face, love and fear, unity and rebellion, do not exist merely to tear us apart but to forge a greater understanding within us. Let us not allow the storm to drive us into division. Rather, let us embrace it as a catalyst for unity. The air crackled with anticipation. As the winds howled, their cries filled with ancient echoes, Alicia felt the pressure of countless eyes upon her, urging her deeper into the heart of her revelation. What if we acknowledged our shadows not as adversaries, but as sacred teachers? Each fear, each doubt could cultivate wisdom if we engaged with them openly. In doing so, we may reveal the sacred truths that bind us together as a community. Gabriel stepped forward, his wings catching the ethereal light in a glow that called the assembly to a higher understanding. "We have faced darkness before," he declared, his voice a powerful melody amidst the chaos. "And each time we have emerged not diminished, but more radiant, having discovered facets of our essence hitherto unseen. The Creator bestowed upon us the gifts of discernment and compassion. Let us not waste them in fear." Lucifer felt a stirring in his own heart, the embers of rebellion flickering with a newfound intensity. "Is it not our right to question the very fabric of our existence? To challenge our boundaries is to truly honor the gift of free will," he proclaimed, his voice cutting through the winds. Yet beneath his bravado, he sensed a growing understanding, a dawning recognition that perhaps rebellion and love were not so far apart. What if the true act of love is to challenge ourselves, together, and not shy away from conflict but to embrace it as a path toward authenticity? As the dialogue surged, the very air around them shimmered with potential. They began to voice the complexities of their existence, weaving narratives of grief and joy, aspirations and fears. In sharing their stories, they recognized the beautiful imperfections that shaped each angel's journey, and a palpable energy crackled through the assembly, a tapestry of understanding stitched from longing and hope. But as Alicia watched the unfolding discourse, a question nagged at her heart. Would this solidarity hold? Could they truly navigate the tumult and emerge transformed? With that thought, Alicia raised her hands, inviting the energy to coalesce into a shared intention. "My beloved kin," she said, her voice weaving through the din like a thread of light. "Let us create a circle of trust, a sacred space where each truth, however daunting, can be shared without judgment. We stand on holy ground, bound together by our longing for the light, and united in our quest for love." As her words hung in the air, a ripple of agreement surged among the assembled angels. One by one they stepped forward, offering their truths. Each story acted like a lightning strike, illuminating the darkness of the unknown. They spoke of their fears of inadequacy, of betrayal, of the unknown future that stretched before them. They revealed their hopes as well, the desire for community, for connection, for the unwavering love of the Creator. And this act of revealing their depths, the storm outside began to quiet. The fierce winds began to soften, harmonizing with the vibrations of their voices in a counterpoint of peace. And in the heart of their circle, something extraordinary began to unfold. The emotional tension that had once threatened to shatter their unity now began to dissolve into something more powerful, a profound realization that the bonds they shared transcended their individual struggles. Together, they were not merely a collection of stars flickering in the void. They were a constellation, each light weaving into the next, forming a magnificent tapestry that reflected the very heart of creation. As the storm gave way to serenity, the atmosphere filled with a brilliant light that enveloped them, cascading warmth like a new dawn breaking over the horizon. Alicia felt her spirit lift, the gravitational weight of fear becoming a whisper in the face of revelation. "This is what love feels like," she breathed in incredulity. "A love that binds us through our fears and emboldens us to rise in unity." Then, like a sigh of divine grace, a voice echoed through the remnants of the storm, a voice that filled the celestial space with warmth and clarity. "Angels of the light, you have chosen the path of truth." It resonated, weaving through their hearts like a gentle breeze. "In your courage to face the dark, you have unearthed the deepest treasure, the profound understanding that true freedom is found in love and connection." With those words, a wave of radiant energy enveloped them, lifting them into a realm beyond the corporeal, a realm where love transcended conflict, where the past and future intertwined in a symphony of grace. Alicia and her fellow angels, drawn together, formed a chain of light that illuminated the dark crevices of their hearts, merging in a brilliance that echoed throughout the cosmos. In that sacred moment, they beheld one another not as isolated beings battling for autonomy, but as a divine family, intricately connected by the very essence of the Creator's love. The battle within and outside them had transformed into a unified force of creation, a testament to their strength forged in the crucible of vulnerability. As shadows lifted and dawn broke over the heavenly expanse, Alicia reflected deeply on the revelations that birthed this new light. Together, they had unraveled the complexities of existence, revealing that every confrontation, every act of rebellion, held the potential for transformation and divine creation. They had embraced love, not as a singular force but as a chorus of voices harmonizing in perfect unison, a love that could weather the fiercest storms and emerge stronger. And as they gazed into the infinite tapestry above them, glowing with celestial brilliance, Alicia knew that the true war in heaven had not been won or lost. It resided within them, an everlasting battle between fear and love, rebellion and unity. Yet they had chosen wisdom, connection, and divine compassion, transforming chaos into a pathway of becoming. In the end, they stood not merely as angels, but as guardians of the light, emboldened to embrace all that lay beyond. Their wings unfurled in a singular act of unity, a promise to walk forward together, hand in hand with the divine, as they carried forth the revelation that would ripple across eternity. Love can conquer all. It is the light that forever endures.